Does anyone remember Power Rangers 2017? And contrary to what the public believe, yes, this film does exist. And I'm gonna let you know a secret, it's not that bad. The movie stars these 5 lovely actors and actresses, including Bryan Cranston, like, he's here, and Elizabeth Banks, who plays the villain. And these 5 troubled youth all meet at the detention, kind of like the Breakfast Club. And through the power of fate, they all meet up and they find these crazy space rocks that grant them superpowers and then make them become Power Rangers. They are then forced to team up and stop an evil entity known as Rita Repulsa, played by Elizabeth Banks. And say what you want about the generic action movie plot, these characters are really good. They have real life issues that are relatable, and they flesh out each and every one of these characters, which makes the movie more enjoyable. And the modern design for the Power Ranger suits looks pretty cool. And I have to say, the CGI for this movie still holds up today. The effects look good and the action looks good. Like, this looks pretty good, you know what I mean? Like, and Elizabeth Banks as Rita Repulsa just absolutely hams it up. She overacts, and it's actually so funny, and it's actually pretty good. She's menacing at times, she's funny at times, and it's overall like everything you expect from a Power Rangers movie and Power Ranger villains. And when I say menacing, this movie can get kind of dark at times. Regarding her, she has some very dark scenes. And yes, this movie caught a little Nolan Batman fever. What I mean by that is they made a more serious, grounded, darker take on the original Power Rangers show and movie, which was to be expected. And a part of me wishes they kept the campy, fun nature of these characters, but I understand you have to do a modern take for new audiences. That's not just for kids, but for adults as well. And this movie came out during prime MCU year, so you know they were trying to bank off a franchise. They even have an end credit scene where they reference the Green Ranger, Tommy. As you can see here, they shout his name and they show the green jacket, setting up for a sequel. But unfortunately, this movie only made around $143 million, and it costed $105 million to make. And for any film to make profit, you have to make roughly around 3 or 4 times more than your budget. So we just knew this was a failure, which is kind of sad because they have a great cast. This is a good first starting film, but unfortunately it went nowhere. And lastly, I want to talk about the fact that this movie is kind of just a Krispy Kreme ad. What do you mean by that? This movie channeled their inner Michael Bay, and they made the entire third plot revolving around they have to get to Krispy Kreme, revolving around some Power Ranger stuff. Everyone in the cast references, oh, we gotta go to Krispy Kreme, and I even bought the Krispy Kreme donut collab that they had at Krispy Kreme. So clearly it worked, and I thought that was pretty funny, so I just have to mention that. So if you didn't remember this, give it a try. It's alright. I enjoyed it. It's whatever.